Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill and welcome to Suncoast FYI. Today we welcome Nate Jacobs, founder and artistic director of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, Christina McCauley and Katie Reeves from Habitat for Humanity, Don Sakes, executive director for More to Life, and Marie-Therese Lacroix, owner of Lacroix Art Studios, right here on Suncoast FYI. For over 22 years, West Coast Black Troupe Theater has provided professional theater and promotes and celebrates African American history and experience on the Suncoast. Here today to talk about everything from stage performances to community outreach programs is the theater's troupe founder and artistic director, Nate Jacobs. And it's always a pleasure to have you on the show because you always have so much to tell us about.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you started the season with Broadway in Black?
We actually started with Eubie, which is the Broadway musical with the music of Eubie Blake.
Okay.
And that was a very successful show. Started off with a light audience because we were still in the middle of our pandemic craziness, and ended it with some nice audiences. We did our holiday show after that called Joyful, Joyful. I just wrote a piece to just make people come in there and smile and be happy and take their minds off of what was going on around the world. And we got some wonderful audiences for that. And now we see our sold out audiences coming back.
I love it.
And putting butts in seats in the theater, and that's beautiful to watch.
Now, how many seats do you have now? I know since
in the new theater.
In the new theater.
206.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
and that increased from what, 150?
170, close to 170.
Okay.
We do 7 performances a week, and it's just wonderful to be getting back to normal.
I know, for everybody, for so many things. So Broadway in Black, how did you choose this musical review name?
Broadway in Black is a reprise of a show that I developed in 2017 for our summer show. I had just met some phenomenal artists, and I needed to do a summer show because typically we do one. And I wanted to celebrate the history of African Americans on Broadway and those people that have paved the way, you know, for African American man like me to have a black theater institution in a city like Sarasota. And so we talk about the history of that, as well as present snippets of mostly every show on Broadway that either was a springboard for an artist like Melba Moore, Audra McDonald, Dorothy Dandridge, you know, Pearl Bailey, and we do snippets of shows, and people are just loving it. It opened last Saturday, and it's already getting rave reviews and packing the house.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, you had to come.
There you go. Yes.
It's a good show.
Yes. Now, what's the creative process behind this? Do you, I know you say you take snippets, but so that's part of it, but what's the rest of it like? How do you put it all together?
People ask me that a lot. I have
I'm sorry.
I have a little zone that I go into because you have to come up with 6 shows every year. And before the year is up, I have to come up with the next year's 6 shows.
Gosh.
Like I just came up with next season's shows, which I will announce Monday.
Okay. So you're going to keep
to the
secret
public
today.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a special event that I announced.
Okay.
I get in the zone. I kind of like go in my heart of hearts and think about what stories I want to tell, what information I want to celebrate, and what is exciting and what is exciting and what fits our company. And I tend to come up with whatever speaks to me in that zone. And then my executive director, my marketing people going like, oh, this is a good idea. So that's how it's been since I've been doing it. I don't look places, and I very seldom look over my shoulder over to this theater or that theater to decide what I'm going to do. I always go within, and
Yes.
I come out
Yes.
with our new season.
And you've been doing that now for 35 years?
Yeah, almost 40 years. I started the company 22 years ago, but I was doing theater at the community theater, and they had me coming up with, because they would let me do 1 or 2 shows at the community theater eventually, right, about 3 or 4 years before I started the troupe. Yeah, been a while.
But we were talking earlier, and it's just always, it's always new, so it's always exciting. It doesn't get boring.
Always.
You know, or you wouldn't do what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know?
I still got my mojo.
and you're helping young people, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you've rolled with the punches of COVID. We mentioned that, and you're kind of out of that now, right?
Yeah. We're back
So
in
we're
our
good?
beautiful theater.
Okay. And you have a very special April Fool's Fest.
April Fool's Fest. That's one of our annual fundraiser events that we do for our education programs. At the theater, we have a summer camp, 5-week musical theater intensive camp called Stage of Discovery. Teenagers from the age of 13 to 20 sometimes, who are young adults, they come and they learn acting, singing, and dance. They put on a big old fully developed show at the end. We have Jazz Links, which is a touring ensemble of 4 women and 4 men, typically college students that come in town from around the state and the nation, and they go into high schools, Manatee, Sarasota County high schools, and teach African American history as a supplement to what these kids are learning in their history classes. So we do stuff from civil rights, we do stuff from the Harlem Renaissance, and we're adding more insight and information about the history and contributions of African Americans.
And that's so important.
And Rhythm and Tales, and we just formed a new collaboration with the Van Wezel, where we performed to almost 3,000 kids about a week ago with an original show that I wrote, oh my God, 25 years ago for a group of kids I used to teach.
Aww.
And we have a new education director, Jim Weaver, who enhanced it, updated it, using the same songs that I created, as well as writing new songs. He and our music director, Jay Dodge, and the kids, they were literally dancing in the aisles at the Van Wezel.
I love it.
So
I love it. Thank
a lot
you.
of stuff for the young folk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where can our viewers go to find you? We always want to let them know that.
Come see Broadway in Black.
Okay.
You can get your tickets at www.westcoast1word black, the color, and theater, theatre.org, westcoastblacktheater.org, or call 941-366-1505 for the box office.
Great. Nate, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Same here.
All
And
right.
thank you for always thinking about us at WBTT.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Joining me next is Christina McCulley, CEO of Habitat for Humanity, to talk about the process and benefits of affordable housing on the Suncoast, so please stay tuned. Habitat for Humanity is a global nonprofit housing organization with one vision, a world where everyone has a decent place to live. And here to tell us more about that vision and what we can do to help it become a reality is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity, Christina McCulley, and Katie Reeves, Habitat's Community Outreach Coordinator. Thank you both for coming this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yes. You all do such wonderful work, and we
you.
really so much appreciate all that you do here for our community. Now, I know you had a groundbreaking last week, so let's start with that because that just happened,
We
right?
did,
Yeah.
yes. It was a major event and was really exciting to get people back out there in person and see some familiar faces. We had a church in Venice, Venice Presbyterian Church Foundation, fully fund a home for our faith build, which is just unheard of. So it was really exciting for us.
I saw the clip that we did on that. It was, and I mean, smiles from ear to ear on everyone.
Yeah.
So, what are the qualifications for becoming
Sure.
one of those fortunate, lucky homeowners?
So they have to live or work in our service area, which is approximately Laurel to Northport and then part of Inglewood until you hit the Charlotte border. They have to be in our income guidelines, which are determined by HUD. And then also they have to be willing to partner. And it's an extensive program, so it's a serious partnership.
When you say partner, what does that entail?
So they have sweat equity hours, they have classes that they have to take. It takes about 1.5 years to 2 years. So it's a lot of hard work for the family to get their forever home.
Okay. So when you choose somebody and you put them into the program, then they are guaranteed a house if they fit all of those qualifications,
Yes.
and then you start moving forward.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. What are the biggest obstacles that Habitat is finding right now?
Financial. Honestly, everything is rising. The cost of materials are rising. The price for a lot, what might have been $4,500 a few years ago in Northport, might now be $25,000. With everything going up, that's our biggest obstacle for sure. And wait times. Construction materials are hard to get right now.
Exactly, exactly.
The
So
need is also significant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The need is also very
Yeah,
significant.
yes, it is.
Even more families have a need than there were before.
Yeah. Yeah, with all of the building going on and prices going up and everything, it's very challenging.
Evictions, landlords deciding to sell. There's
Yep.
a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah. So we touched a little bit on the process of what the sweat equity is like. So they would send you an email and request an application form, and then how do they go about filling that out, and how long of a process is that?
Once they send in kind of all of the documents we need to make sure that they would qualify for our program, we do some initial hours. As Christina mentioned, they have to do sweat equity hours, equivalent to 300 hours of volunteer work with us. So we do initial hours where we test the water, kind of put them on the job site and let them know what it will be like to be in the program. So it's quite a journey for them, and we want to give them kind of realistic expectations because everybody has lives to live as well.
Sure.
So when they're doing their hours, they're also taking educational classes to make sure they're prepared for home ownership.
And what are those like?
Yeah, it's we do some budget classes, just things to prepare them for home ownership, so we can be sure that we're not throwing them into something without the right tools to succeed.
Yeah, we want to line them up for success from day
Right.
one.
So Habitat gives them this beautiful home, then they're responsible for upkeep and maintenance and
They
taxes
are,
and all of
and,
the other things that go with it, which is where the budgeting comes in.
Yes, they
Well,
still have a mortgage. We're just able to keep it very affordable. So after they go through our program, they're on their own pretty much. Of course, we're there for support for years after, which is nice.
But it's their home and they own it just like anybody else. And they do have a mortgage, so it's definitely not a giveaway. They work double hard, I would say, because they still have a mortgage, but they also have to help build their own house.
Well, and I think that's what they do need to put in, because I've built a couple homes back in Vermont when I lived there. It's not an easy task.
No.
So it takes a lot of hands to do that. Now, what are the long-term benefits of home ownership through Habitat?
They're major, and I think that's what sets us apart from maybe some other organizations. It's forever. It's generational. So the parents will move in either with kids or without kids, and then they'll have kids, and it kind of breaks that pattern of poverty, and they pass their children, the home when they pass away, or they go back to school. They're just afforded all these opportunities that they didn't have before because they were worried about where they were going to sleep, if they were going to get evicted, if the conditions were bad. So now they can focus on their future and their children and generations to come. So it's a forever fix.
It's a forever thing. So they can pass, the home is theirs.
It's
And they
theirs.
can pass it on to their heirs.
Yes.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I think that's wonderful. Now, other than, obviously, I'm sure you would like volunteers to help with their time, because again, it takes a lot of hands
It
to build a
does.
home. What other kind of talents or items? I went on your website and I know you have the restore, but you need time and talent. And what are some of the other things, ladies?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you could be involved. The job site is an obvious one where we send volunteers out to build the home, but our Habitat Restore is also hugely important to our mission. The volunteers that work there are doing, community service, customer service, and the Restore actually helps us build usually like 2 homes per year with the
What's donated?
fundraising through
with the
that.
proceeds.
Yes. So it's a huge part of
vital.
our mission.
And the restore is located locally.
It is in Venice on Ogden Road, almost at the corner of Center and 41, just a little scoop behind that.
Okay. And what types of things, I mean, we all can, I guess, envision the normal things that you need, but one of the things I noticed on there, which I was surprised at, was a mattress sets.
Sure.
Now, I know that typically when you get a new mattress, they discard the ones. So do you have somebody come and pick it up and assess whether it's acceptable or
We do,
not?
and we actually have a new online system where people can go on and schedule their own pickup, upload photos in case they're unsure if we'll take it,
Okay.
so they can find out before we even go out there. If it's something, we'll come pick up.
All right. Now there's a list on there of all of the items that
There
you
is.
need that our viewers can go to find. And I think it's such a great project that people should really, if they can't do anything else, then they can find something
Thank
that they can
you.
donate. Now tell our viewers where you are, what your website is, so they can find you.
We are at 280 Alligator Drive in Venice. That's our corporate office. The Restore's on Ogden. And then our website is www.habitatsouthsarasota.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
and
having
have
us.
a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Up next on Suncoast FYI, we sit down with Dawn Sakes and Marie Lacroix to discuss more to life's art therapy and what it does to help the victims of human trafficking on the Suncoast. So don't go anywhere. For 18 years, More to Life has worked to become a beacon of hope for victims of human trafficking on the Suncoast. Now they've partnered with the Lacroix Art Studio in downtown Sarasota to explore how art can impact the healing process of human trafficking victims. And here to tell us about this important project is Dawn Sakes, Executive Director of More to Life, and Marie-Therese Lacroix, owner of Lacroix Art Studio. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
This is a difficult subject to talk about, but something that needs to be heard. So, Dawn, we're going to start with you. Tell us more about the More to Life and 18 years you've been
Yes.
involved with this.
Yeah, so we've been in existence for 18 years. Anti-sexual violence, human trafficking, and youth crime prevention organization. Our mission is to inspire change in people and transform culture for a better world. By doing this, we provide prevention education and then direct victim services to children, youth, and young adults. In 2021, we provided services to over 240 individuals, with 80% between the ages of 13 and 17 years old.
So where you have a physical location.
Yes, ma'am. We are partnered with the Glasser Schoenbaum, so we house out of the Glasser Schoenbaum off of 17th Street.
And we'll run your website across the bottom after, so we can tell folks where they can go out go out and reach to you. And Marie, you have an art studio, and you're a very talented artist in your own right. What inspires you, and what inspired you to get involved with this wonderful cause?
Well, I have my studio downtown Sarasota, which I love it very much. I always want to work with children since I lost my son when I was 24 years old. And I always say, oh, if one day I get some money and if I had the opportunity, I would like to work with children and foundation and everything. And finally, the universe or God gave me this chance to work with foundation through my heart, which I just love it. And it's give me some opportunity to share my heart, to share my love, to share my to talk with them, and
Yes.
and this is my dream.
Yes, and your art is so inspiring. So to be able to share that with someone else and get them involved in that process, because it really kind of takes you out of your own self, and you know, it puts it on a canvas, right? And you
Yes.
express yourself that way. Now, I know you're working with More to Life, but you've also worked with other charities.
I
as
work
well.
with. I started working with charities since 2016. I work with Florida Breast Cancer Foundations. In 2020, you remember the famous COVID-19, which it was a problem for everybody, and I was saying, what should we do? What should we do? And finally, I decided to manufacture some masks with my painting, which was the design come from my painting, and we manufacture masks for them and other foundations, and we the profit of the masks were going directly to the foundations, which it was very good, and it was a mask but with design, which is people love it really. We did a good job there.
Yes, it was. It's beautiful, and I have one. Now, what has your experience been like working with Dawn and the survivors? Tell us about that.
Oh my God, that was absolutely fantastic. And people know me very well. They know I love children. And this week I had this girl, I cannot say her name, but I had this girl who came to my studio, and it was so wonderful. When she arrived, first she had this personality when you will never think she was an abused lady or girls, or we will never think about that. She had a great spirit, fantastic soul. She talked, and she chose her painting, or not her painting, but her brush. And also I said, what would you like to paint? She said, well, I know exactly what I want to paint. She said, I would like to paint some cactus with some beautiful background with the sand and everything. I said, really? I said, okay, go ahead. And she started painting, and at the end, we were hugging each other because she told me a little bit about her life and everything. And I even, sorry. It was very good.
It was a very good experience.
Will
you do it again?
Sure, I will. As a matter of fact, I'm meeting her on Saturday. She's going to come and finish the painting. Will take about 2 more hours, 3 to 4 more hours to do that. And I'm going to also work with the kids. We are going to paint sneakers. They're going to bring their sneakers, and I'm going to paint with them.
Please hold that one up. That's
yes,
lovely.
I paint this one, and that will be. They will be so happy because I bought all kind of painting. Who goes to fabric because it's different type of painting.
Sure.
And about that, and they will be sitting on the floor and they're going to paint, and we are going to talk and try to enjoy each other at the maximum.
Okay, well now you're going to be working with them. This is going to be taking place at an event that you're hosting.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about your event, please.
So we're really excited to be partnering with Marie with our event, Healing Through Arts, and it will be held on Thursday, March 31st at her studio. And she has donated 2 paintings to the organization where 100% of those proceeds will go to More to Life. And then a portion of the proceeds of any painting sold at the event will also benefit our organization.
Wonderful. So now the 2 paintings that you're donating, is it a paddle raise or is it a silent auction bid? How is that going to work?
Well, it really will be an auction bid.
It can be an auction bid, but we were thinking the day of the event, which is the 31st of March, between 6 to 8, we are they will see my studio. It's going to happen in my studio and also in this this other room beside my studio, and they will be able to see all the painting, and they will be able to choose the one they want, and it will be. I think it will be more like they will have the opportunity to choose the one they want, and they will be able. The money, the profit will go to the foundation.
Okay, so we're going to finish up with the date and now your location as well. So the date
is Thursday, March 31st.
Okay.
From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
All right. And your studio is located where, Maria?
My studio is located at 1369 Main Street, between Palm and Pineapple, on the second floor.
On the second floor. Now, if our viewers want to go and purchase tickets, or is it just open to the public? Is there any charge?
Sure, there's no charge.
Okay.
We're just excited to have everybody in person again. It's a
Okay.
celebration.
All right. And what's your website?
Our website is www.moretolife.org, and they can also find and purchase tickets on Eventbrite or our Facebook page.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for all the hard work that you do, and I look forward to seeing you at the event.
Thank
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
We hope you enjoyed the show today, and thank you for joining us on Suncoast FYI. If you would like to promote your nonprofit or community event, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Adam Huntley, at 941-361-4645. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com and click the What's On tab. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.